My name is Rich Schmidt. We're here with Jacques Lardière. It's July 31st, 2025. We're at Résonance in Carlton. Thank you so much, Jacques, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Let's start with the easy question. Why wine? Why did you get into wine?
Oh, alors ça, this is a question we never know. Maybe because my grandfather and my mother's grandfather, as we said, have a merchant wine. You see, not in Burgundy, but in the Vendée district, in the coast of Atlantic side. You see, under the Britain. And it's between Britain and, if you like, Bordeaux, if you want, something like that. It's in the middle is a Vendée vineyard, and they produce some wine and Muscadet, Gros Plan, and some lot of other grapes. You see, and it's like that. In fact, it came also because for me, I was very interested by biology first, also, and also. I have to make the memory about yeast and bacteria, you see, and I have had the opportunity to to make what we said the stage, you see, during the harvest time, of course, in the Beaujolais district with Jules Chauvet, the guys we introduced. Macération carbonique and work about the flavors and everything and about the yeast and bacteria. With the Professor Bréchot from the Institut Pasteur, we are in charge of the bacteria side, department if you want, for food. Is not the medical way, it is because in Institut Pasteur we have the both. And I have had the pleasure to work with them, of course, because for me it represents the professor, the magic guys, and it's very interesting. And also, you see, I work principally for the bacteria, because I'm more interested by bacteria than the yeast, because the yeast, we knew a lot about bacteria, like the yeast, it worked because after the war, you see, they work a lot before the war and after the war, they work a lot about yeast. It's easier, the yeast. You see what you do. With the bacteria, it's a little more different. The one, because we never know when it's appear. It's incredible. You see, sometimes you look, you are at the cellule of Malassez at this time. It's the first time that the people use this. You will recognize the life and the death. You see, and you color that. And you can have one sample in the morning by the binocle, you see, like that, and nothing. And in the beginning of the afternoon, migration, like in your country, there is a joke. No, but I mean a lot of. And it's incredible and to know why and what is the starter, working about that, what it represents, because it's a time where we have in the wine industry the problem with the malolactic. You see, degradation. Enfin, what the people explain always, it was a malolactic fermentation. But it's not the right way, because fermentation, bacteria never ferment. They degrade, but they do not ferment. They digested something, but they don't ferment. It's not because you have some CO2 that it is. So it's a big problem. And for me, it was the beginning to understand something, is to use a good word. You see, to understand the process. Because if you maintain your head with the fermentation, it's not the reality. You see, donc it's very important. Donc it means, for me, I work around this process, or like its work, and what he engage, and how we can control or understand. But if you do, like human, if you want to understand, you want a little bit to control. It's always the same thing. And it is interesting. Donc for me, I follow a different way that every people said at this time. It was too warm, too much. It's something that I am a little shocking about that, because it don't represent something for the life, you see. And of course the process is different. And we, in fact, it's a pH. The acidity is a key for that. And of course, and a lot of people don't believe about that. They continue to say, something like that. No. But when we don't understand that, for me, it's more advanced like that. It was interesting to understand at the same time why it's interesting maybe to digest it, the malic, to have the lactic and to make some wine more soft, tender, round, for the white or for the red. The tensions between the molecules are a little different. And you know, and for me, if you want, I am very interesting to know on the same time that what it's happened, you see, when you produce wine, quality wine, where we need to digest it, what you are under to become on the top, it means to digest it, the minerality, you see, and like that, and through the vegetables, and to produce fruits, and after that, to have a work for the yeast, you manage the transmutation. You see, it's very interesting to understand that, because this activity of the malic acid, it's a strong one, very active and very tasty at the same time, because it is the active part of what it must be released from the ground to be disponible, I thought of the word, free to be used and to deliver what is the message from the place. What is the sillage, you see, the sillage, you see, of the place. And it's very important, is because it's through that you can explain maybe why, for a long time ago, the people tried to understand that this place is, and it's not exactly the same. Of course, a lot of things, we have maybe 80 or 90 things together, but the 5% or the 10% are different, and you can say it is. And it's very important. Donc also, in Burgundy, it has been made like that because we have les appellations d'origine contrôlée. And for me, I work in the industry because Jules Chauvet, which was the guy, you see, very interesting man, he said me, Jacques, you see, the research, you see, is more active to try to work on the business. And it's like that. I have a connection with André Gagé from Jadot, and I came from that. But always with this idea to understand, you see, this is a very important part. We know that for the red, it's necessary to do. It's first for the balance, but for the white, not sure. Donc, alors we work and then we continue to understand like that, but on the same time, we work on the places to know for me it has been interesting to recognize why you have Grand Cru, why you have First Grow, what it means. And I started for myself through Jules Chauvet, because he have a lot of samples of flavors, you see, like that. And for me, I make the same thing at home when I arrived in Beaune in 1970. You see, to make a collection of flavors and to make a blend tasting with wine. You see, and to have a piece of paper. We don't know what we taste, but we have generic, village, first growth, different first growth, and Grand Cru, you see, for white and for red, and to make blanc, this. And at the end, to compare what we do, and to understand that you have maybe, like I said, 60% or 70% of nearly the same thing to describe, but you have few things who make the difference. And they make the difference with because you taste something absolutely magic to compare the other one. It's like if some places they stay close, muted a little bit, not completely, but a little bit, and some places, paf, you have something. And in fact, it was interesting to understand that the molecules are the same. It's the same one, the big one are the same from the beginning, you see, excepted by the power from the ground, the freedom of the vibration of the mother earth. It makes that you have like that opportunity, you see, to what we said, to tops molecule, turning like that and opening and opening and opening. And more you have this power, more the molecules become more lighter and more they open. So it means, if you want, if for the same molecule, if for normally wine, if you are here, it could represent 4, 5, 6 flavors. When they are ripe, you see, donc they are here, and you could have 15, 20, and on the top is 90, like that. And you have plenty of this, and this is the difference. And the key of that is that normally speaking, it must happen every year through the maturation. And of course, some vintages is maybe less expressive at the beginning, but normally speaking, at the end, you must have this. It takes more time sometimes to develop, because you see, something you have to open. You have to digest the part and the molecule open and mix with the other. Well, you imagine what it represents. So it's very interesting that it's for me, I spend a lot of time for that, because I work with Jadot 42 decades, and I said to stop because we have to wanted to do something outside. Donc for me, I travel with the son of Pierre-Henri Gagé, who success to the father, and to go to see places where we can develop new business about this. Alors, you make California, we make some places, Chile, like that, different places. And in fact, we arrived in Oregon, because for me, I know that in Oregon, a lot of the wine produced at this time, I was not especially enjoyed, because it's more maybe bottles wine than the reality, you know. But it's easier to control. It's easier to control, much easier to control. For the industry, it's perfect. It's perfect. To manage the customer is perfect. But for me, the one is not that. The one is make that you have to elevate yourself, and it's not maybe to working with your blend. It's your brand. It's to work by yourself. It means that more you attractive and you develop the level of the vibration of your cells, you are able to understand better. Donc it is why the wine is magic for that. And the spiritual part of the wine is this, that it could develop you, it could give you, dans la quête for the comprehensions of life. You can believe God or not, it's not a problem, but to know that something is between and between. Enfin, the ground and this. And because we are binarity, you know, if you compact, you are costaud. You see, if you compact you are alike and they to play. You are no more. We are plenty of nothing. It's very important, you know. It's interesting to know that all this vibration of molecules make the sense. Donc it's very interesting to know that, like when you heat something, it's what the food is very important. What you eat, it's also what you become. You see, and for the wine, it's the same thing. You see, all something which is vibration is what you are in the campaign or in the forest, like that. You have some time, you have some places where you said, "Wow!" You see, you have the top. And then it's the same thing on the place where you what we said, planting grapes to produce wine. Donc it's very interesting, and some grapes are more able to deliver flavors. And we must recognize that the Pinot is very interesting because he is one of the, you have others, not only a Pinot, but you have others. But it's very interesting because he is so rich about this opportunity he has to develop something. You see, if you want to open the books from the ground, if you want somewhere, it's you see you have more page open, accessible than some other. That it's why it's interesting to plant where you want. Because it's like that, you have a very nice approach by this, and naturally the people want to do that because the people, when they bring grapes to a planting, for example, in Oregon, they said it's worked not so bad. You have a thing, and you have a good wine. Those are very interesting because the people tasted the wine principally for Burgundy. I spoke about Pinot because, of course, some people make with some other grapes, but this. He said, we recognize something. But after that, the habitude that they make something a little bit different because we farm differently. And it was to make money too, just a little bit. Why not? Huh? Now it's everywhere. It's like that. Burgundy is the same, but it's not sure that it's a right way to produce good wine. Mm-hmm. You may produce correct wine, but good and interesting. Mm-hmm. Not so sure. But bon, it's like that. And we. Look, for me, we came here and we have had the chance to make chambers. Donc, our Kevin chambers for Résonance vineyard là, yeah. And because he wanted to sell at this time his propriety where he produces only grapes, he don't make wine. You see he sells some wines on 2 or 3 different winery, but one principally. And we have had, during we were here, he had a connection with the guys from Portland, I think, and gave the information in New York or for some time. The guys, they said, you have maybe a possibility, and you arrive here. It's not a large place, you see. But Burgundy, except they have a little, which we said, they have a little Alsace grapes, you see, small one for the wife, like that. But the rest, it's a Pinot Noir. And no graphs like that. It was in biodynamic until the year before we, really, you see, for us, it's interesting. Donc, we make a tasting of some wine making by the other people. Mm-hmm. Donc, interesting. Donc, see, we saw the Pommard grapes, Dijon grapes. Enfin, you know, bon, it was like it has been. And Van Desville, I never listened about this one from Switzerland. You see, between with Germany and Switzerland, the Alemannic place. And interesting. And we started, it was in 13. And in 13, for me, I arrived. Donc, in July, we make it. After that, Pierre came, we make the deal to buy. And beginning of September, I came here, you see, because we bought during the August. And donc, we have the harvest, we have everything, but I have no place. I have no places, no room, no vats, nothing. Alors, Kevin said me, maybe I have a guy I know, maybe he have enough place in the new winery, like that. And we visit them. I said, well, but I don't know exactly how much he had to produce, like that. And I said, okay, why not? And it's the middle of September. We have had a storm, incredible storm. During a week, it was raining. And for me, I've just arrived. I visited the vineyard, and you see, I saw that the maturation of the grapes were around 13 to 12.8, 13, 13.2, it depends. For me, it's okay. When you are like that in Burgundy, we consider that the grapes is mature. Mm-hmm. And they are interesting because I don't need to have something sur-matured because it's not interesting. More is sur-maturing, more you have a heavy wine. You see. Why not? But it's not, for me, I am here to try and to see what the Pinot are able to produce. So I do that, and we harvested everything before and we make something. Super. And after that, on 14, we have a deal with a guy, in 15 also, and after that, from 16, we started to build the place, to build this place and to build a winery like that. That is the key. And we, donc in fact, you see, for me, something which is important, in fact, to understand the idea. It's not to make, it's really to produce. My problem was to say, we have had in Burgundy, traditionally, for century, a process working. And of course, imagine from the 70s, you have a lot of new guys coming, Manitou, machin, you say they control the grapes, they control everything. For me, less we touch, better it is. You see, you have to work very well to farm well, and after that, normally speaking, you have maybe to make an selective table to take something bad, but when the grapes are on the vat, after that, you have to make nothing, maybe just to push down, not to have the oxidation on the surface, but that's it, you see, and nothing more. Okay. It's very simple. The problem is to have enough vat to produce a different wine, exactly. Donc it's very simple. And I wanted to do the same thing here, to be sure what it means, because I don't need at all to make Burgundy wine, absolutely not. But it was to understand if there's capacity, like I spoke to you at the beginning about the capacities that the Pinot have had to develop and to deliver these flavors. You see, this quantity of flavors. We have few grapes which are able to produce so many, and to know that it is possible or not, because it could be the ground. To be frank, I was a little afraid, because when you see the trees, you see the redwood like that. You see when you see the tomatoes, you see apples like that. You see, like that. Donc it means the ground is very pushing, and it could be too strong. You know, the problem is could be too strong and not to have les étages, you see, the store. To slowly develop like that. It could be too much fast, because it's like that. It's a country, it's like that. You have this power in your country. You know that. You understand. But no, but really, it's like that. Huh? It's more, we are a whole country, like people say. Of course, we are a whole country, but for the one, it's good. And if you are we do, and it's work, because we have had some good answers, and I said that is very interesting. Donc we continue to only practice like that, not to move to. You see, it's because in fact we don't know to make. We have to produce. And the word of when they said me winemaker at the beginning, not me only, because the people spend winemaking. Ça also is not the good word to do what we have to do. And my job, if you want, on the same time, is not to produce wine, to develop the vineyards, to replant like we do. And in fact, you will see we have this place and the Jolimont, là, replanting everything. It will be in a few years. It is now, but a few years it will be a fantastic place. And we selected the good grapes like that. No, for me, my trajectoire, my way, if you want, was to become, Oregon Burgundy. Guys, Oregon Burgundy. Because I must be from Oregon also in the mentality to be with the peoples like that. And I don't live here. It's why we wanted to have someone to live here, because for me, I speak like that. But it's interesting to stay here, to be completely, you see, to start to have some roots on the same time, and to understand. And it is the good you see, the good thing is for when the young guys go somewhere to make the process of winemaking like that. But we have to be careful, so not to of course, everyone has to experiment something, but we have to be careful about not to change too much things, I think. I accepted if you accepted this. But in Burgundy, we have not. Donc we need to have the same thing here. And now you have AVA. Donc it's very important. It's something that the people wanted like us, and it's very important. I think they have the sense, and they have the sense for the customer too. It's very important. It's very important because it's a gift. we deliver the gift for the customers. We deliver the gift. If it is well made, it's a gift, because maybe the people have no conscience about, you see, because we have always the left side, you see, we make, but inside it's work, because in fact, the second brand, ici, le hara, ici, where is the key, la source, you see, is what, when you drink wine, the well-made wine, touch this and come back after that to deliver by la grande cave every for you. See, what we said, la rétrofaction, but it came from the body. Donc it means you wash yourself, you see, and without your conscience. And it's very interesting because it's work like that, you see, like that, and at the end, people are very interesting about that. You know what I mean? It's very important. It's like when you cook, everything must be free. If you cook and you close, this one. And in the wine industry, the people and the winemaker, they want to close something because it is mine like that. But it's no, it's not. The wine is not us. It is not it's not like that. If you have the spirit, it can work really. Alors you make maybe something interesting to taste, it's not the problem, but the quality is different. You see, and the quality is for the quality of the human. We have to find the quality of the wine to have the quality of the guys who taste, who drink. It's why it's very important to have this both, and this concept is very important. We have not to forget that. It's very important. Always.
So why was this the place? What about the vineyard and the site excited you enough that this was the place you wanted to make wine in America?
Oregon?
This particular, not just Oregon, but Résonance vineyard itself.
Résonance, because in fact, you see, to be frank, you see, I don't know well the wine from this country, generally speaking, but you imagine I have had during my life, you see, in Burgundy, I have had a lot of winemaker coming. You see, for this with the samples to discuss. You see about that. But the guys from Sherman, là-bas, ou Dandy, of course, because les Drouin build something, you see, in 07, you see, in Dundee, enfin, bon, they make sense. Donc we have some winemakers, some winery coming, and we make the taste and we discuss about the process. For me, only through the samples, you see, like that. But Adolsheim, for an example, you see, Adolsheim, when it came, I remember I make a tasting in 79, wine from him, you see, and I found on the test something I did not have had with the more modern wine, and it's, if you want, it's saying me that this is a country where the Pinot, in fact, could produce something different. It may be, like for me, I believe about the Pinot, about this elegancy, like that. And of course, it was not what it's happened at this moment, you see, on the last 30 years, because the people want to make a massive wine, and they harvested 24, but also they prefer to do that because they maintain like that the fruits, and it is quite closed. Donc also it's very interesting to repeat year after year. And after that, they have the right to add a little water. Bon, you see, if you have 15, but you come back at 13.5. The wine, it's a little lighter, but you have the impact making during the process, so that this is a molecule closed. Donc they stay. Donc it's, you don't know, and why not? But the people do that, you see, and it's why you have the glasses like that. for this, which is completely crazy for wine, normally speaking. It must be so elegant, the flavors. You see, you have to be very careful about that. You know, it's vraiment. Mais it was adapted. Hein? Alors, you imagine the first time I came and when we make the tasting of the 13, and I spoke like that, I said, no, it's not what, we are not yet to produce wines like that. If you send me that Oregon wine, the Pinot is like that, I said, no, you are wrong. You are wrong because it's not. It's not. You want to produce, to control the customer, to control, and it's work because at this time, you see the production, the crop has been drunk in your state. Mm-hmm. Now it's not because people arrive, produce. Now you produce a double and you have a lot of mistakes. Okay, but for the sale a bit. But the wine change, and you have a lot of wine much more elegant, much more. Ça c'est positif, positif. And voilà, it's why. No, and here we make that and Résonance. We came here because it came, but we are very interesting by la biodynamie because we produce in Burgundy few, and then for a long time ago, I was in this concept, and to make wine, the same thing. Donc, Kevin does that. He stopped because I think he knew that he wanted to sell the vineyard, and also he wanted to have no problem on the vine because it's more difficult, you know, it's a lot of work, but he had this concept and this authentic grape inside without anything, without crafts. C'est extra. It was visions of something we have not anymore in Burgundy, because with the phylloxera it's necessary to grab. Look, very interesting. You see, it's and in fact we make wine, we develop, we try to understand like that, and we bought other places, and we consider that is a nice if you want. Also, we like this test, this kind of test, you see, and because we are Burgundian, maybe it's maybe because we have something more attractive for us. It's possible, but it means that we have had this opportunity to discuss with a woman. We bought this land, you see, the big part of the land behind us. Là. You said with Pierre-Henri, maybe it's interesting to be here because, of course, we bought places in Dundee, Découverte Vineyard. Donc the guy is very nice, and it was a friend of our friend Kevin, and here we bought and we planting. And we planting also Chardonnay, because for me, when we in 14 and 15, of course I have had a good friend, Laurent Montalieu. You see, we are in the West. Okay, I have a dinner with him tonight, and it's a good friend because I met him in the beginning, in the 13 and 14. And you see, he said to me, oh, I have some, why you do not try Chardonnay? Because in the Bon Jadot, we are very strong about the whites, recognized by the people, for the red too, but the whites for a long time ago. And we, why not? Okay, I make forecasts just to show, but coming from the grapes, Chardonnay grapes, from his vineyards, you see, he have above like Macmillan, but it was the grapes from like that Italian Chardonnay. The grapes are like that. So when I visited the vineyard, I said, "You make?" And I tasted the one they made in the West. Bon, mais je dis, why not? Donc, I make wine and not bad at all. Huh? Donc, we continued during 3 years to buy 10 cars, the value of 10 cars, because we press and we make. But now, you see, we started in Découverte to plant in some, because it has only planting on the top. You have Drouin, and just here we have had a Pinot. We have had Pinot, and we planting a lot of Chardonnay. something like that, with a good success. We tested yesterday, like the blend for that. And here, ça va être bon. No, it's good. And we also planting without irrigation, without, it's, of course we craft because it's necessary. Because this is the problem. We have no more problem with the phylloxera until here. No, and it's good. But you see the problem, it's what I explained to RP. When RP, the guys were in the vineyard, before you have forest, you have everything, you have a prairie, you have a cow, you have everything. Donc the phylloxera can work. Now people destroy the trees, destroy everything, and they plant. And of course the phylloxera, and they use the same material from to breeder, and that's it. And it's crazy. Donc we don't need to plant like that because we never know, it's quite expensive. But we have a special place just under the testing room. We make super places, you see, only with a lack on the old fashions, was the full. You see, we spoke this place full errands. You see, because we replant and it's the high density. You see, and it's the second harvest last year, and it's interesting. But Franche de Pied, no craft at all, just you have the forest here, you have the trees. Donc I don't think you have a lot of risk, but you don't plant a lot. But it's very interesting to have like that something very, very expressive about the Pinot, like that, you see, and making like the fashion. For me, it's not because it's coming from Burgundy, because in some other part of the world they produce the same. In fact, the human work plus or less on the same way, and it is to really develop something good. And Oregon, from I said for 10 years ago, it's a very, very nice place. It's a very native place somewhere on the same side. It's worked well, and the people are very interesting because we have a lot of people who work it very well too. You see, they try really to make good wine. You see, to make it's very nice, and more I find. Now, of course, we have the young generation you are coming, but some are more égotique, donc with ego continued, but it's always in Burgundy we have the same, and and it's work one time and less after that. But it's it's a very important, and I think it's a pity that you have so many plantations everywhere, and not always with the good grapes. You see, and it's crazy that you have something working like that, and it's. I'm not sure that is great for the country. People must to be more serious. They have to control more things. Mais bon, c'est like that. We will see.
You talked about getting the project started here and not having any materials to start with. Tell me about the growth of both the space and the wines. What are the biggest points of progress you've made since starting the project?
The project for Résonance is to make a very good wine, if you want. Is to really realize what we could produce, but without forget the place, but to deliver more, reading more the place, if you want. By the, you see, more the wine are nice and develop flavors, more you are reading the place. And it is possible to know. Now, the limit, we never know what is represent the limit. You see, in Burgundy, you have some places quite limited. You see, here maybe some works well, and we have to discover this. We have something to do, and we have to understand what is in window the egregore of places. Because you have some places where you know that you have had good frictions with the native guys, like the Indians, something like that, and you have some places where the ground, when you walk around the vineyard, it's you have to decant a little bit. You see the place, but we have the same thing in France, because we make and we have the same impression sometimes. And for us, we follow the places where we have not this. we try to do in fact, is to try to do the best. But not to manipulate, to become the best because I have no sense, but naturally to and it's not so easy sometimes because you see it change sometimes. You have the yield like that. You see, we want to control the minimum, the yield, because it's what we are doing this morning, in the découverte, to know what we have to cut, to the green harvest. Well, because it's necessary, because sometimes a generosity of your ground. It's like we said, we produce fruits like that. It is. We have to be careful about that. We have to control, and it is interesting to control more on the vine. Then after that, when you have the grapes. But it's more expensive. It's very expensive to cultivate. It's very expensive to cultivate the ground here too. But the price is not bad. Huh? We are crazy in Burgundy, quite crazy, and possibly for the great wine, but not bad too. Huh? For me, I imagine from the 13 when I arrived, and now, bon, if it's work, but I am not sure that it will work well like that. I don't think so. It's crazy because the people are more and more interested by some qualities. People become more and more amateur. They have the customer become more critic, and it's very good. It's very good because we have never to forget that we only produce wine. It's wine. Huh? Donc we have to be careful.
What's next for the project, and what's next for you?
The next for me is to maintain a life a little more, but you see, I come back. In fact, I worked it strongly until 19. After that, we have had la COVID, a little bit after, and my wife was very in difficulty. She can't get up. It was complicated. Donc also I said, for the company, I stopped to come, and I stay with my wife. And my wife passed away 2 years ago now. And the family asked me to come back to have a look about what it's happened. And for me, if you see, we make the wine like that now, it's more like that. And I make the tasting, make the assemblage with Guillaume like that. What we did the last 2 years, two days. And and for me, after that, you see, I am not a young chicken. Donc, and what it is, it's the generation have to work. It's very important, you see, and it is the time. For me, I consider that it's a time for one moment for the people who want to come back. Alors, of course, I still have plenty of life until now. You see, I don't know how long it will be, but it is like that. Alors, of course, but I have, if you want, in France, I follow the domain from the West Coast, you see, where we produce some Chenin, some Pinot Noir. Super biodynamic, 42 hectares, you imagine. Donc it's a lot. And I have my brother, my son-in-law, who is my second daughters. They have a merchant wine. They make wine. You see, very pretty. They work well. Not a lot, but good. No, they make work. Sometimes I help them when they ask me, papi. They make the tasting, they make everything. No, I just work with my hand. And sometimes to say, oh, maybe là, mais few, parce que, and like that, it's like that. And we, for the other one, who is married with my oldest daughter, donc Mano, we have had a deal with the guys from Germany. You see, we own some vineyard now in Burgundy, in Puligny-Montrachet. He bought the old castle of Puligny-Montrachet, le château de Puligny-Montrachet, the old one. And he want to make fermentations like I practice, you see, the long one for the Pinot, you see. And we discussed with us, and he said, yeah, maybe I am interested. And my second son, he's in work with him, and also, I think this year I have to follow something on this place. But it's but that's it, you see. But to be frank, I am alone at home because my wife is away. My garden, my house, my music, my book, my grandkids, because a lot, you see, of course, my daughters use the puppy. The puppy is nice for that. And, it's a lot of work. And I finished to make the tasting with Louis Jadot a few years ago, because it's everyone. You see, it's a new generation. They have to work, and if you have someone on the back, it's not good. C'est like that. It's like that. You see, it's, no. It means my future is to have enough time to test always good wine and to drink, possibly. No, more than to taste, in fact. No, it's nice.
Sounds like a pretty good life. Sounds pretty good.
Wait, no, it's not so bad. Right? It's so far from. It's far. No, it's a lot of work. No, but it's not. And to be frank, I was very enjoy, really, to become in your country. The people are, you see, up on the arms like that. You see, it's really, it was a very, very nice time for me. No, I must recognize that c'était super. And if you want, we have maybe a word. Would be a word for us to explain maybe what we want to do with a Pinot like that is maybe what we said in réhabitration. It's the word réhabitration. Donc it means it's a connection about the habitation and the structure and something different. Donc it means it's something very close, lié comme ça. And I think it is a word for me I'd like to use now for explain what we've done and what we continue to do, of course. We expect it to work well, and I'm sure, because we make some money. No, and we produce a good one, and we have nice places now start to arrive what we really manage. Choose ground and grapes and planting, and now it's very interesting. It's impacting a lot the quality. Donc, to see what it's possible to do. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much. Very much. And you have had a nice time in your university. We make some tasting. You see, to be frank, you see, when I came on the past to make some tasting from the Jadot wines, you see, from when you have an invitation about the festivity. I did not know at this time that I'd come back one day to make wine in the country. It was nice.
Full circle. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your trip here, and
merci, thank you.
Talk to you next time. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.